So welcome to today's session. We are continuing to go through the Emacs manual, and as always I have started the run key thing, so you should be able to see the commands that I am typing. We have covered quite a bit of ground, and today we are going to go through chapter 12, killing and moving text. I have started the recording, so I will make this also available on YouTube. Okay, so killing means erasing text and copying it into the kill ring, and yanking means bringing text from the kill ring back into the buffer. So that is what we are going to see today. Now, in some applications they call it as cutting and pasting. The kill ring is so named because it can be visualized as a set of text blocks arranged in a ring in a very cyclic order. So we will look at the kill ring more detailed as well. But these are the most common ways to move and copy text within Emacs, okay, within a single buffer or in multiple buffers. So with that, let's get started on the first subsection here, which is deleting and killing. So most commands which erase text from the buffer will save it in the kill ring, and these are known as kill commands, which means that the command name will have the word kill in it. Example is kill line. The kill ring will store several recent kills, not just the last one. Okay, so you don't have to worry about losing it. Of course, the kill ring is shared by all the buffers, right? So you can kill it from one buffer and then you can paste it to a different buffer. And of course you can do control / undo to undo a kill command. That basically brings the kill text back into the buffer, but it does not remove it from the kill ring. Okay. Of course, on graphical displays, killing text also copies it to the system clipboard. Now, one important point to remember here is that commands that erase text, they are not saved on the kill ring, and these are known as delete commands. So they usually have the word delete in them. Example are like control D, which is delete character, and the del key, which stands for delete backward character, which deletes one character at a time. Commands that can erase significant amounts of non-trivial data generally do a kill operation instead. Okay. We can also use the mouse to kill and yank, but I don't want to demonstrate that today. We'll try to use as much of the keyboard commands as possible. That's what is going to give you the productivity and speed. So we already seen the control D and del examples before. So let's move on to yanking. So yanking means reinserting the text previously killed. It's just like pasting, which is what you probably have seen in other applications. So the usual way is to move or copy text to kill it and yank it elsewhere. Welcome, Code Space. How are you doing? Thanks for joining in. So let's see an example here. I'm going to start it from the terminal, right? So let's go to the scratch buffer, and I'm going to just say yanking means reinserting text previously killed. Yeah, so I am doing this streaming on Emacs manuals. So you're basically reading through the Emacs doc site. So we have these different manuals which have been converted into HTML by Thomas, and so I've started going through the Emacs manual. I've also recorded these videos, so you can actually go and check them from my playlist. So you have previous recordings on Emacs here. So I want to finish up reading the manual, also demonstrate some of these commands, and then we will go to Magit maybe, or Magit, however you want to pronounce it. Also want to go through org manual with examples and Emacs list reference manual as well, in case want to write some code snippets and customizations and so on. So that's the context of what we are doing here. Code space 0x25 wants to know if I am using evil mode. No, I am using vanilla Emacs. I go to the, I'm using 27.1 installed on Ubuntu. There is no customization. So I've just installed just Emacs, whatever that comes with the distribution. I have not done any customization. And the idea here is to show what is there in the manual in the buffers. Okay, later on we will do sessions on customization, all of those, but I'm not using evil mode. I'm just trying to teach you the Emacs mnemonics, the basic shortcuts, and how we can learn from them. I'm trying to keep these sessions to 30 to 45 minutes, so that it's something which people can also watch during their commute, or when they're taking a break during lunchtime or so on. Good. Right, so let's do some examples here. So I was in the Scratch buffer. So Control Y is to yank. So let's kill this. So if I say from the point at T, if I said Control K, it will cut it, right? Kill the line, and then I can do Control Y, that will paste it. I can do Alt Y again, but there is nothing else there that I have killed, right? So let me undo this. Let's say I do 3 kills here, right? 1, 2, 3, right? So Alt Y will cycle in the ring buffer. So I can do Control Y and then do Alt Y, Alt Y. It will cycle through the ring buffer and tell me the most recent one that was killed, the second previous one, the third previous one, and so on. Okay. Now let's yank the last kill into the buffer. This is replace the text that just yanked with the earlier batch of kill text. It will basically cycle through the ring buffer. Now there's also Control Alt W. So it says if the following command after this is a kill command, it will append to the previous kill. So this runs this function, append next kill. So let's see an example maybe. So I'm in the Emacs buffer. I do Control K. I do Control Alt W. I do paste now, Control Y. It pastes the previous one. Okay. Now with the plain prefix argument like Control U, Control Y, the command will leave the cursor in the front of the inserted text and will set the mark at the end. And you can specify a prefix argument. So if I say Control U, Control 4, Control Y, it will insert the fourth most recent kill in the from the kill ring buffer. Right. So if I do something like Control U 4, Control Y, it was the fourth entry in the kill ring buffer. So if you happen to know that, you can use that. On graphical displays, Control Y will check if another application has placed any text in the clipboard before it checks the Emacs kill. Okay, so in that case, it will insert the clipboard's text instead. Now I'm showing the console environment here because you can see the highlighting and so on, but we can also do it from the X11 interface for Emacs. So Emacs will treat cut copy clipboard operations performed in other application like Emacs kills, except that they are not stored in the kill ring. Okay. So now let's look at the kill ring itself. It is a list of text blocks that was previously killed. There is only one kill ring and it is shared by all the buffers. So you can kill text in one buffer and you can paste it in another buffer, or as in Emacs terminology it is called as yanking. And this is the usual way of moving text from one buffer to the other. Of course, you can also store the text in registers. We will look into registers in the next session. Now, the maximum number of entries in the kill ring is controlled by this variable called kill ring max, and the default value is 60. So you can store up to 60 entries in the kill ring. And if you make a new kill when that limit is reached, Emacs will make room by deleting the oldest entry. It will basically overwrite it. The actual contents of the kill ring are stored in this variable called kill-ring. So you can view the contents using Control-H-V kill ring. So let's try that. Control-H-V says describe variable. I say kill ring. So here if you see, these are the most recent ones. Inserting we did, killed we cut, text we cut, right? So all these are the entries in the kill ring. Good. Let's go to the next one, which is yanking earlier kills. So as mentioned before, you can use a numeric argument to yank a text that is not there in the recent kill. So let's say I go back here, I say Control U3, Control Y, that's the third entry here. This entry here, right? So if you remember that, it's fine, otherwise you can just do Control Y, Alt Y, Alt Y, killed, next one is text, next one is previously, next one is killed, and so on and so forth. So basically cycles through these entries here, right, the kill ring. So that is what is explained in this paragraphs here. Now, each time you kill, the last yank will move the pointer to the newly made entry in front of the kill ring. Okay. And every time you do Alt Y, it moves the last yank pointer to a different entry, and the text in the buffer changes to this one. Now eventually the pointer will reach the end of the ring and it will loop back to the first entry again. So it's a cyclic buffer. Now when you're pasting, right, it will move the last yank pointer around the ring, but it does not change the order of the entries in the ring. Okay, unless you kill, right, the entries are retained as it is. That's important to remember. Now you can use a negative argument which will move the pointer to the front of the ring, rather than going back, right. Once the text you are looking for is in the buffer, you can just stop doing Alt-Y commands and it will stay in the buffer. Okay. As I said, as long as no new killing is done, the last yank pointer will remain at the same place in the kill ring. So repeating Control Y will yank another copy of the same previous kill. So if I go back, Control Y, it's the most recent kill ring, that's only is getting inserted again and again. That is the value of the last yank pointer. Right. Now you can also append kills if you want to combine 2 or more kill commands in a single entry, right. That is also possible. So let's see an example here. Suppose I have this text here. This is a line of sample text, right. Right. So you need not kill with just one command. You can keep killing line after line or word after word until you have killed it all, right. So this way a sequence of forward or backward kills will put all the kill text into one entry without any rearrangement. So in this example here, right, let me see if I can enlarge the text size here. Yeah, let me go back to the scratch buffer. Let's have this as a line of sample text. So what this says is that the point should be in letter O in off, right. Now if I do Alt D, Alt del, Alt D, Alt del, right, it's killing forward and backward, right. Now there is a double space here. Okay. Now, so you can do this multiple kills like that. Okay. Now let's undo this. Okay. Now I can also do Alt B, Control U. Sorry. Let's go back. Alt B, Alt B, Control U, Alt D. Right? It will delete the same text there around. The other ways of doing this also, which they say you can do Alt F, Control U, Alt Del. It will kill the same text. So let's try that. I do Alt F, move to forward, Control U, Alt Del, right. So what they are saying is you can have these forward and backward kills. That's just the gist that they are trying to give you here. And the text in the kill ring will always have the same order that had in the buffer before you killed it. So you can do these multiple types of kills. Let's look at the kill ring here. Control H V, kill ring. Right. So we have those same text that has been cut even with multiple commands. Right. That's what is explained here. So the Control Alt W tells that the following is a kill command and you have to treat it as a sequence of previous kills. as usual, the kill is appended to the previous kill text. The command is kill forward, and prepended if the command kills backward. So in this way you can kill several pieces of text and accumulate them to be yanked in a different buffer, for example. Kill command following Alt W, which is copy, does not append the text to the kill ring. Okay, that's something you need to remember. Okay. Good. Let's move on to graphical displays. So, in most graphical desktop environments like GNOME or Wayland or KDE, you can of course transfer data from applications called a clipboard. So, on the X environment, there are two facilities. One is called the primary selection, and then you have the secondary selection. So, when you have Emacs on graphical display, the kill and yank will use these facilities. So, easy to transfer text between Emacs and other applications. And by default, Emacs will use UTF-8 as the coding system. Okay. But you can specify another coding system by using Control X, Enter X, or Control X, return key, and X. You can also request a different data type by customizing X select request type. Okay. So that's the X11 applications to Emacs. So again, in the clipboard we will mostly be calling it as cutting and pasting. That is what is given here. When you kill some text with Control W, for example, it will copy it to the kill ring, and you can also paste it, and the text is also put in the clipboard. Okay. So when you run kill, it will put in the text clipboard, but it will not also remove the contents of the clipboard. Those will still be there. Now there is a variable called save interprogram paste before kill to true if you don't want this operation. So Emacs will first save the clipboard to the kill ring, so it will prevent from losing any clipboard data. Of course, you can yank or paste. You will also use it from the clipboard. Now, if there is another application that owns the clipboard, right, and if you cut or copied some text there before you killed in Emacs, okay, Emacs will first paste it from the clipboard rather than the kill ring. Okay. There is some behaviors between using Emacs in the X11 GUI interface. Also remember that rotating the kill ring, right, will not alter the clipboard. Now, if you change yank pop change selection to true, then Alt Y, which is pasting or yanking, will save the new yank to the clipboard as well. Right. Suppose you don't want any killing yank commands from accessing the clipboard, you can change the variable select enable clipboard to nil. Okay. Now, some desktop environments have a feature called the clipboard manager. So, if you exit Emacs while it is the owner of the clipboard data and the clipboard manager is still running, Emacs will transfer the clipboard data to the clipboard manager, so the data is not lost. So sometimes this may cause a delay when exiting Emacs because it is trying to move this data into the clipboard manager. If you don't want Emacs to transfer the data to the clipboard manager, you can set the variable xselect enable clipboard manager to nil. Also remember that strings containing null bytes are usually truncated when passed to the clipboard. So basically it will replace such characters with /0. before transferring them to the system's clipboard. Now, prior to Emacs 24, the kill and yank commands use the primary selection, not the clipboard. Now I am using 27.1 Emacs here. So if you prefer this behavior, you can change select enable clipboard to nil, select enable primary to true, and mouse drag copy region to true. So in this case, your clipboard kill region will kill the region and save it to clipboard. Clipboard kill ring save will copy the region to the kill ring and the clipboard, and clipboard yank will paste the contents of the clipboard at the point in the buffer. Okay, the normal operations here. Usually you don't have to customize these things. You can go with the default settings here. Now, cutting and pasting with other window applications. Here they give examples of using the mouse, which I am not going to go in detail because I don't use the mouse. I don't want you to use the mouse either. But I'll just give you a gist of what's there. So you can also insert text using mouse 2 clicks on X application. So the primary selection is separate from the clipboard. Now, under X, when the region is active, the text in the region is saved in the primary selection. Okay. This applies regardless of whether the region was made by dragging or clicking the mouse or the keyboard commands. If you change the variable select active regions to only, Emacs will only save temporary active regions to the primary selection, those that are made with the mouse and the shift selection. If you change select active regions to nil, Emacs will avoid saving the active regions to the primary selection. Of course, you can use mouse to insert the primary selection into an Emacs buffer where you want to insert it. Now, on Windows there is no primary selection, but Emacs will emulate it within a single Emacs session by storing the text internally. I don't have a Windows system here to demonstrate this. But all features and commands related to primary selection will work on Windows as they do on X11 on GNU Linux for cutting and pasting in the same session, but not across Emacs sessions or other applications. Now, in addition to primary selection, the X Windows system also has something called secondary selection. So nowadays, few X applications use this secondary selection, but you can access it in Emacs using these mouse commands. Since I am not a fan of the mouse, I am not going to demonstrate this, but since we are going through the manual, I will just read what each does. So mmouse1 will set one endpoint for the secondary selection. You can use mmouse3 to set the other end and complete the selection. It's just like for dragging and selecting text like this. So this command will cancel any existing secondary selection and it will start a new one. Yeah, mmouse3 is to set the secondary selection, as the other position is specified by mmouse1. This will also put the selected text in the kill ring, and the second mmouse3 at the same place will kill the text selected by the secondary selection. mmouse2 will insert the secondary selection, placing the point at the end of the text. Because there are some operations here like double or triple clicking on mmouse1 operates on words and lines. Now here, if mouse yank point is true, mmouse2 yanks at the point. Okay. Let's move on to the next section on accumulating text. So there are convenient methods for copying a block of text in many places or copying many scattered blocks of text into one place. So here we are going to describe the commands to accumulate these scattered pieces of text into a buffer or a file. Okay. So let's open the GNU Emacs buffer to demonstrate an example. So we have commands like append to buffer, prepend to buffer, copy to buffer, and so on. So let's try this. Alt X append to buffer. So I selected that GNU Emacs 27.1 and then Alt X append to buffer, it appended to the buffer where the point is, right. I can also do Alt X prepend to buffer, say scratch, so it goes to the same cursor point there, right. So you can copy from one and paste it into a different buffer. Let's say I do Alt X copy to buffer, scratch. So what copy to buffer does is it deletes the buffer's old contents, right. It deletes the old contents and just puts the new string there. I can do Alt X insert buffer. I can't insert here because it's a read-only buffer. But I can do Alt X insert buffer. It inserts in the scratch buffer here. Similarly, you can do append to file, append region to the contents of a specified file at the end. These are some quite nice convenient commands for copying a block of text in many places or for copying this text into one single place. So this whatever I have demonstrated here is just explained here in text. Yeah, so in the previous session people asked about rectangles, so we are now covering this here. So let's just clear this. So a rectangular region can be marked for text. Usually it is a certain pair of columns or it could be a range of lines. You can do specific rectangular operations using these rectangle mode to kill rectangles, yank rectangles, to clear them, fill them with blank text or just delete them. And these are quite useful in multi-column formats, right. Again, we have to set the mark at one corner and point at the opposite corner, and in this mode the region is treated as a rectangle, so it's a region rectangle. If the point and mark are on the same column, the region rectangle is empty. If they are on the same line, the region rectangle is one line high. So let's see some examples. I mean, you can also use the mouse, Control Alt mouse one from one corner of the rectangle to the opposite, like dragging and creating a rectangle. But let's use the shortcuts here to learn how to operate in rectangular mode. So I am going to just say, let's copy this text, paste it here, okay, just for demonstration, right. Right. So let's see if I can highlight this region, and I say Control X R K, kill the text on the region. Control X R K. maybe I will try it. Let's try it on the X11 interface. See if we can open that. Let me open the, see if we can use the X11 version. Right. So yeah, right. So I can do Control X R K, right? So it only deletes it to match the rectangle size. Right. Let's I'll demonstrate this again in the terminal. The bigger font size. Right, so we have this Emacs text here. Let's go to scratch buffer. If I do this Control X R K, right, so it only cuts till S distribute till this column, right? That's the rectangle thing. Now you can save the text of the region as the last thing. So I can do Control X R Alt W. Okay, was the last kill thing. You can delete it. Control X R D. Okay, so you can paste it. Control X R Y. If I didn't delete it, if I had actually done the kill, let's do Control X R K kill, Control X R Y paste. Right. So basic commands, kill, paste, all that work, but it operates in a rectangular fashion. I can also insert blank space, Control X R O. Right. It inserts blank spaces to fill the region rectangle there. I can insert line numbers, say Control X R N. So it inserts 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. You can also clear the region. So I can say Control XRC. It basically clears the contents with spaces. Okay. You can delete white space in each of the lines in the specified rectangle using Alt X delete white space rectangle. So I can do Alt X delete white space rectangle. Okay, here there is no multiple white spaces, so it's fine. I can replace the strings entirely. I can say Control X. No, I can do Control X RT. Say replace it with foo bar. It will work like that. Right. You can also insert string on each line of the rectangle using Alt X string insert rectangle, enter, and then the string name. Of course, you can toggle the rectangle mark mode using Control X space. So I can do Control X space, Control X space. Now it's disabled. and so on. Okay. So these are the operations that are explained here, both in X11, also in the console. This will work. So you can try this out. So I have demonstrated this. We look at registers later in the next session. You can copy these rectangles in and out of registers using Control X R R R and Control X R insert R, right. Right, let's look at the last section in this session, which is QA bindings. So CUA is called common user access, which is used in many applications. So if you use alt X CUA mode, it will set up the key bindings that are compatible with CUA. So when you use this CUA mode, the keys such as Control X, Control C, Control V, Control Z, all this which refer to kill, copy, paste, undo, all this will be mapped. And these keys will perform such operations when the region is active. Otherwise, they still act as prefix keys, so that the standard Emacs commands like Control X, Control C will still work. So which means the variable mark, even if inactive, has no effect for Control X, Control C in the region. Now to enter an Emacs command like Control X, Control F while the mark is active, you can use different ways. You can use Shift along with Control X, Control F, or you can type the prefix key twice, Control X, Control X, Control F. Now to disable the overriding of Emacs bindings to CUA mode while still retaining the other features of CUA mode, you can set the variable CUA enable CUA keys to nil. CUA mode by default will activate delete selection mode. If you don't want this behavior, set CUA delete selection to nil. Of course, CUA mode provides enhanced rectangle support with visible rectangle highlighting. So you can use Control Enter to start a rectangle, extend it, move it, copy it, cut it with Control X, or copy it with Control C, and so on. But you can also use this rectangle support without activating CUA by calling CUA rectangle mark mode command. Of course, there is a standard rectangle mark mode command which we have seen. So with CUA mode, you can easily copy text and rectangles in and out of registers by providing a numeric prefix. Right? You can say Control 1, Control C to copy the region into register 1. Control 2, Control V to paste the contents of register 2, and so on. Okay. CUA mode also has a global mark feature which allows you to move and copy text between buffers. You can use Control S space to toggle the global mark on and off. When the global mark is on, all the text you kill or copy is automatically inserted at the global mark, and the text you type is also inserted at the global mark rather than the current position. So to copy words from various buffers into word list, for example, in a given buffer, you can set the global mark in a target buffer and then go through each of the words you want in the list, mark it, Shift Alt F, copy it to the list with Control C, and insert a new line after the word in the target list by pressing Enter. Now of course this CUA mode is there for we have some muscle memory from other applications, but I don't use it myself. I will recommend that you learn the Emacs mnemonics. Use rectangle mode if you want, and it's easy to remember all of those shortcuts rather than having to learn new things, right? So with that, I'll stop here. The next session we will go through registers. let me stop the recording here.